You stated here that this bill does away with parental rights. You understand that parents have the fundamental right under Ohio law to raise their children, and this bill does not change that. Do you understand that?
Well, I understand that under federal law, parents have a fundamental right to raise their children. I understand that the bill does not change that because federal law supersedes state law, but I do believe that this bill completely ignores parental rights.
This bill remains court-centered and not child-centered. So what is still in Senate Bill 174? The recent amendments continue to ignore the multitude of serious problems, including the way Senate Bill 174 grants courts complete discretion to order anything they feel is best and gives them the authority to consider any other factor they want to. It even goes as far as allowing the courts to transfer the parent's custody to someone else under a mere preponderance of the evidence, and not just temporarily. This is outrageous.
You know, I also hear this, well, it's children's rights or parents' rights. Well, it's kind of which one? Well, the thing is that it's not a zero-sum game. Children's natural caregivers are their parents, not the government. And the Ohio General Assembly understood this when they recently passed the Parents' Bill of Rights for the classroom. What value do parents' rights have in a classroom if you don't have them in a courtroom?
Parents who've worked out a plan, say agreeing on homeschooling or how to handle medical choices for their own children, could have their decisions ignored or flat out overridden if a judge feels differently about them, even with no conflict between the parents or harm to the child. This bill truly undermines parental autonomy.
Proponents testify that this change more accurately reflects that children should be treated as persons, not property or assets, to be divided when the parents are no longer together. As someone who's taught philosophy of law for 40 years, I'm somewhat shocked that our lawyers and judges testifying on this think that rights are about property. We have many rights that have nothing to do with physical property, and parental rights are not about treating children as property. They're about recognizing that parents are the natural guardians of their children, and as long as they're raising their children in a way that won't harm their children, there's little reason for the state to become involved in how the children are raised. SB 174 goes beyond that. It specifically authorizes the court to substitute its judgment about what's in the best interest of the children for a parenting plan that is jointly submitted by the parents. The court doesn't need to find that the parents' plan would be harmful to the children. Would courts do that very often? I doubt it. But SB 174 says that they can do that.
In point, Senate Bill 174 still consistently emphasizes the court's authority as paramount over the authority of fit and loving parents. There is nothing child-centered about a bill that defers decisions to the court over the child's parents, simply because the court feels that a better decision could be made. Care, control, access, authority, the right to association, and decision-making are all recognized as parental rights. But this bill explicitly places those same fundamental rights at the complete discretion of the courts. Since when are fundamental rights completely discretionary? And if they should be discretionary, why aren't we at least applying strict scrutiny with least restrictive means, or requiring clear and convincing evidence to protect these fundamental rights from undue governmental interference? In this bill, a charge isn't even required. A mere allegation is enough to restrict a parent's rights. In fact, any other reason is acceptable. In ordinary cases, with an absence of harm or unfitness, courts can apply the lowest evidentiary standard with complete discretion. Proponents keep using the words like child-centered, but there is nothing child-centered in this bill. This bill focuses squarely on each jurist's authority, and children will be the collateral damage.